sometime today. My goodness. There we are. Okay. Yeah. For those in concern, uh, I guess that ain't Groovy Faye, because he ain't here in Anchorage, Alaska. But for those in concern, we just had like a super nasty snowstorm here yesterday, and it dumped like over a foot of snow on the entire city, and everybody is just kind of scrambling to get out of that and just get mobile again. I got like a big snow berm out in front of my house that needs to be moved, all that kind of crazy stuff, man. So yeah. Yeah. Yes, it does. It sucks greatly, bruh. I'm just like, yeah, I got to speed up my exodus plans. You know what I'm saying? But your own property and stuff, you gotta deal with all of that. Brother Ray Smith, what's good, man? What's up? Is 12 inches of snow. That's what's up. And yeah, it sucks. On the plus side, they had to go out the house much, which I kind of like. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you tell me, since you OG. I don't like going out the house as much as I used to. Going play. If I go somewhere, I'm like, I'm gonna go on vacation. If I go somewhere, I'm going out of town. Cause I mean, I'd have been here like longer than I care to be here. Life Below Zero, the Black Edition. There, you'll be surprised, Kamoyo Kid. There are a lot more black people in Alaska, particularly in Anchorage, than you might imagine. There are black people in Fairbanks, smaller concentration. There are black people in Juneau, even smaller concentration. So here, this is kind of like the Chicago of Alaska. So yeah. I appreciate that, Ray, man. I'm like, why? I mean, that was the whole purpose of building you a place where you can sit and relax and kick back and be with your family. If you want to have guests over, you can have guests over. If you don't want to be bothered with guests, you don't have to be. Just that kind of thing, man. Grown man stuff. That's what we call it. Grown man stuff. Tired of fooling, you know what I'm saying, out there in the streets. Plus, ain't really nothing out there. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing out there I can't get, at home. If you catch my meaning. I want to go to a comic convention outside the state. And try out my blade or try out my medieval Green Lantern, and you know what I'm saying, see how people feel about that. Ooh, I work from home. I'm always at home, so I got to find energy to go out. Uh, yeah, yeah. I work from home up until May. Now I'm back out in these streets more or less, but I'm back out in the streets on my terms. So you could say that if I chose to, I could work from home. Um, Theo B in the building. What's up, brother? What's up, brother? What's up? What's up? What's up? Um, Grand Madam, you are in the building. Thank you for joining me today, dear lady. I appreciate your presence. All right, well, shoot. Just that fast. 10 of y'all. Okay. Everybody else can play catch up. We about to do this thing here. I got a few things that I want to get off my chest. Well, not necessarily get off my chest per se, but just things I want to talk about. And I have to make a written note of it because I forget things sometimes. Say you just got back from the first convention in Columbus last weekend. Oh, hey, Miss Alicia, how you doing? I ain't saying, I'm just saying it's better half. Hey, see, I can come up with a different one every week. um, Yep, yep. Everybody in the building. Yep, everybody in the building. Okie dokie, y'all. Um, like I said in the description, got some things I want to talk about. Let's get into it. Everybody know everybody up in here. Everybody say hi to everybody up in here. We're gonna get started. Brittney Griner. Thoughts, feelings. Yay, she's out of Russian jail. Yay, we're happy about that. We're happy about that, right? I'll wait. I gotta see these comments. I'm gonna wait for y'all. Oh, y'all still saying hi to each other. Okay. It take a moment. It take a moment. Wish I had a Theo said he glad she back. Ray Smith said it was always about a swap from Russian perspective. So no matter what would have happened, it would have always been about a swap from a Russian perspective. The Death Merchant is the nickname that someone in the media gave the man. Let's just call the name. Let's just call the man by his name. Victor Bout. Bout. Victor Bout is the man's name, aka the Death Merchant. Okay, let's put the Death Merchant in perspective real quick. The Death Merchant is a man who sold arms to people. Okay, there are lots of people who sell arms to people. Oh, but the Death Merchant, he sold arms to people who had intent on using those arms against the interests of the United States of America. That's why we set him up to take a fall in Thailand. Okay? It's unfortunate that Brittney that Brittney became a pawn, because that's precisely what she was. She was a political patsy. They used her as leverage to get the Death Merchant. Interesting piece of trivia, by the way. Victor Bout is married to a woman whose name, get ready, her name is ALLA. All about. If you can't see the humor in that, you're dead. I'm just like, for real? Her name is all about. So how do we feel about the gentleman, the Marine, by the way, Theo, that is still incarcerated over there on espionage charges? Yes, Greg, madam, all about. That's petty. No, it's not petty. I'm asking a legitimate question. They released a man today. Ooh. I'm not messing with that one. And hello, by the way, Mr. Jeffrey. You never know who you're in live chat with. So, unless you're ready to defend your stance, proceed with caution. Okay. Russia wants 2 people for him. Wow. Jeffrey Lang said, F it. I'm going in. I hear you. Well, my choices would have started an international incident. You know our slogan. Yeah. Yeah. Um, focus, Jeffrey. Focus. Focus. We're talking about Brittney Griner right now. If we got time after I cross all the topics, yes, we can absolutely 100% talk about rebooting the DCEU. But right now, and here's wow, that was fast. Okay. All right. So here's the question. Do we believe Paul Whelan did what they say he did? Furthermore, why were we so quick to believe it? And why didn't we fight as hard and as vigorously and as publicly as we did for Brittney Griner? I'll wait. Not saying we shouldn't have. I'm just saying, why didn't we? He's an American citizen too. Was the evidence against him overwhelming? Or did he get sent up on trumped up charges? We're gonna bargain for one. We might as well bargain for the other one. I mean, what does that say about does that say that we capitulate as a country? Does that say we capitulate? That if I take one of your celebrities, if I take one of your beloved people and I put them in jail and let you see them suffering, does that make you bend over backwards for what I want you to do? And should you? I mean, it could be argued he's not seen as a high profile person, Mr. Smith, but he's still an American citizen. And he served in the military. So, in my opinion, he's more of an American citizen than Brittney Griner is. Or he got more reason why we should be fighting and advocating for him because he fought and advocated for this country as a U.S. Marine, period. So, I mean, and I'm really not trying to play devil's advocate, but when I get into these conversations like this, I got to look at both sides of the coin, man, because something still seems rotten about that we just leaving that man. You know what I mean? A Marine. That's why it just bugs me, man. I done stood side by side, toe to toe with Marines. And you telling me you just gonna leave that man? Whether he was accused of espionage or not, we supposed to take care of that. Not let somebody else handle our, I mean, you in a country, and I mean anybody who's been in another country know everybody don't rock like the United States. They don't care if it's a gram, if it's a half gram, a quarter of a gram of a cartridge. They don't care. If you bring it in their country, they coming down on you with both feet. And as many times as Brittney Griner done been back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could say medical, y'all could say whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm pro cannabis, but I'm like, bruh, I ain't pro cannabis taking it to no country where I don't know how they gonna respond if they find it on me. Theo, you say your choice, your choice will probably start a war. I hear that. I hear that, man. I'm just that's where I'm at with. I'm happy. I'm happy that she's home. That's cool. Good. I hope she learned a lesson about cannabis cartridges in foreign countries and don't never ever do that shit again. You know? I mean, do you think there's not cannabis in Russia? Do you think they don't have cartridges in Russia? You got to get high, man. You, you can get you some cartridges in Russia. I'm sure they got some marijuana in Russia. They just don't want you bringing it in and out the country. You Jeffrey, gosh. Okay. Um it's all politics. I agree, Grand Madam, because I don't give two farts about no party. They're both broken. And as much as we want to, oh, well, you should do this because the Republicans, blah, 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 blah. And you should do this because the Democrats, blah, blah, blah. They both need an enema. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. It's just they need a third party to keep their asses innocent and on the up and up. Well, not innocent because you know politics, you ain't never gonna be innocent, but to keep them shooting straight. You know what I mean, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, if there was a third party that could offset anything that the red or the white did, I guarantee you, the red and the white will find out how to play together. They figure out how to play together. That's why we don't see the ascension of a third political party. Do you know how much you have to love weed to want to take it on board a plane? Can we say she's addicted to weed? Um, I got friends who take weed on planes, but they put it in their carry-on luggage. They don't try to carry that shit on with them. You have to be, Ashura. You have to be for a third party because what have I seen since I've been alive? All I've seen is political tennis. All I've seen is political tug of war. You can't, it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You put a third one in there, that'll cut that back and forth stuff out right away. You know, but oh, and yes, I read your comment, sure, but we on this side of the fence today. Um, he just made a dumb decision to bring it, period, and especially to Russia. You ain't let it go. Zoltar the Magnificent. Salute. He said, don't play with contraband, friends. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Same bird, different color wings. Exactly. Glad she was saved. Saved. I guess saved could be one way of looking at it. Extricated could be another way. Yeah, yeah. Got it. Okay. So let's move on. It sounds like y'all have said everything y'all needed to say, unless somebody else got something else they want to say. I will move on to the next topic. And it'll probably be real short. Prison colonies are no joke, especially in Siberia. I would have to take your word for that, Zoltar, because I have never been to a prison colony in Siberia. But if the one I saw on Stranger Things is any indication, yeah, they're pretty damn terrible. And take it from me, anything you got to do in the snow is terrible. If you got to do it in the snow, it's that much worse. But I bet you're in very good shape. I shovel a lot of snow, and I shovel snow for exercise, believe it or not. I actually shovel snow, you know what I'm saying, for the movement, and you know, it works a lot of stuff, man. But nah, nah. Don't want to do nothing in the snow. It's unless you sledding, skiing, or having a snowball fight. There ain't much else you could do in the snow that's fun. And don't nobody say ice fishing because ice fishing is boring. It's more boring than regular fishing because you cold and you got to deal with sitting around. So, some things you can't talk about on YouTube unless you'll be pulled like the war. I'm not gonna say that. Yes, and I'm well aware of that. Thank you for reminding other folks. Did you see Jon Stewart agreeing with two warmongers like Hillary and Rice, where he made fun of them on the Daily Show? No, I did not, sir. She would have got that serious snow shoveling. Not sure what you mean by that, Zoltar. I'm gonna play coy on that one. Yes, skiing. Snowball fights are the best. Yes. Especially when you're winning. Oh my goodness. I know what I want to talk about next. Show of hands. How many? Yeah, exactly. But I'm turning the rails where I want them to go, kid. How many Legion of Superheroes fans are there in the chat? Holla at me. I'll wait. LOSH. Losh. That's right. Jeffrey Lane, a DC man. So I know he down for some Legion. So you know there's an animated Legion of Superheroes movie coming out, and it's supposed to be mature. Moyo Kid said he like him. Theo gave me 4 black fists. Let me take a guess. And I'm going to be terrible at this. Jeffrey Lane, the Legion of Superheroes. I am not a fan of Legion of Superheroes, but I know who they are. I wonder if it was set up like disputed Last Man Standing. Well, not really, though. I'm a Justice League guy. Zoltar the Magnificent, my man. Bruh, I was there in 1976 when that issue of Legion of Superheroes came out, and Tyrock was sporting those elf shoes and a swimsuit with a collar. Damn you, Mike Grell. I did a video. On Tyrock. Well, I did a video on a couple DC heroes, weird DC heroes. But Mike Grell originally, he didn't want to do Legion of Superheroes. And so he said, I'm going to F this comic up so bad, they'll take me off of it. Hence, Tyrock was born. All the black people went to another dimension. Is that what it's going to take for us to get equality? Is that what it's going to take for us to get our reparations? Well, at least in the DC universe, pre-crisis, had to go to another dimension. Wow. And then come back 1,000 years later, or be discovered 1,000 years later. And they was perfectly fine where they was. And they had Tyrock with his swimsuit on to protect him. But anyway, it's a Legion of Superheroes animated movie coming out. I think it's January 27th is the release date. Not a fan of Matter Eater Lad. I don't know. Tyrock and Matter Eater Lad are kind of like right here for me, man. It's like, what's your power? I eat shit. What? Again, Mike Grell brought that character back in the 70s. Yeah, Matter Eater Lad and Tyrock running around together. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. I'm moved to DC too. Matter Eater is the dumbest character created. You will get no. Well, I don't know. I can think of some really dumb characters. Any incarnation of Leapfrog, Frogman, Frog, any damn thing is stupid to me, except old girl from My Hero Academia and Toad. I mean, I get it. If you're born with it, it's a little cooler. You can do something that's tongue based. If you could do something that's chemical based, like arrow poison frogs and that kind of a thing, okay, that's cool. But just you jumping around on some springs, robbing banks, dumb. Yes, Leapfrog and his son Frogman and whatever else. Stiltman too. Stiltman. What's your power? I got stilts. What's so weird about that, Ashura? Yeah. Doesn't everybody watch anime? Stiltman versus Superior Spider-Man. I feel sorry for Stiltman. Tyrock costume versus Bill Foster's Goliath costume. Come on, yo, kid. If I had a six-pack, I'd much rather have my six-pack exposed and a big old crazy man collar than a swimsuit and elf boots. Yeah, Black Goliath wins. Easy. Have you seen Tyrock's outfit? Yes. Yes, Theo. Why is and Stiltman is a Build-A-Figure. What? Man, you could have just made them stilts retractable, put him in a pack and been done with him. Cause I ain't had no reason or desire to get Stiltman. You know what I'm saying? Why? What for? He's stupid. Same thing with Leapfrog. You know what I'm saying? Now, old school cats like you are rare to go beyond to anime. Old school cats like me. Well, this might shock you, Ashura. But anime been around a lot longer than me. You talking about anime in its current form? Yeah. But Gigantor, that shit was on before I was born. Astro Boy, that shit was on before I was born. Speed Racer, it was on before I was born. You know what I'm saying? And I can keep going. Hurricane, Polymar, Battle of the Planets, Gotcha Man, G-Force, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that was like 60s and 70s. So yeah, maybe in its current form like it is now, it's more episodic, it's more graphic, but it's always been around. So old school cats like me just rolled into the 90s and 2000s with anime is all. I've been watching anime for decades, bro. I have Crunchyroll. I watch. I have some shows that I like. I have some shows. I've been watching Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is different, but as manga, to answer your question, manga as far as the books, very little. Very little. I hear the books are better than the actual anime. And believe me, I'm a book kind of guy. So if you could recommend a few books to kick me off into it, I would gladly start reading manga. I don't collect anime, but One Punch Man is my guy. May have to visit my local Barnes and Noble to get some issues. One Punch Man is a parody of anime. Theo, didn't you know that? All anime is, and Ashura can corroborate this. All anime is based deeply in the hero's journey. And with anime, it takes a long time for the hero to reach that place where he is a hero. One Punch Man is just like push ups, sit ups, run. I'm a hero. That's the joke of it. And all I got to do is hit you one time, and when I'm really thinking about it, and it's curtains for your ass. So that eliminates the 19 episodes you have to watch before Goku goes Super Saiyan and beats up Frieza. That kind of a thing. They're poking fun at that. Anyway, I remember G-Force, precursor to live Power Rangers. Yeah, in a way, yeah. Do you watch Gantz? I watched the computer generated one on Netflix. Yes, that was a very interesting jump. Demon Slayer is fresh. Yes, I have watched Demon Slayer. I need to try the Gantz series. Yeah, I will. Thank you. Lone Wolf and Cub is the GOAT Ronin manga. Now, I watched a movie back in the 70s called Shogun Assassin, which is based on Lone Wolf and Cub. And then there was actually a Japanese live action series called Lone Wolf and Cub with the same cat who played in Shogun Assassin in the movie. So, yes, I am very, 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 very familiar with Lone Wolf and Cub. Sorry, I meant Berserk than Gantz. Oh yeah, I've watched Berserk. Yeah, I like his name alone. His name alone says it all, right? Guts? Guts? That what his name is? That what his name is? Voltron was Power Rangers before Power Rangers. I like Gundam. Like Gundam a little bit. Just like Gundam just a little bit more. I've got to see that series. Okay. Can you tell me if Galactor was alien? I never understood that. Yes, that's the name of the alien race. The Galactor. And the guy was the villain was a hermaphrodite. Because when they finally got him unmasked, because he had a voice like, and then when they took the mask off, he had like a little girly face, and he's like, and I'm like, anime. Only anime does that. You know what I mean? If we get to the DC stuff, I have 3 district questions for you. Distinct, I guess, is what you're going. See, y'all gonna take me down the road. Y'all gonna take me down the road. Y'all gonna take me down the road. And I started this off with Legion of Superheroes. Damn you people. What do you mean, you people? You people are people. You're persons. I'm not Robert Downey Jr. You people. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Back to Legion of Superheroes, y'all. Back to Legion of Superheroes. Back to Legion of Superheroes. And let's try not to focus on Tyrock or Matter Eater Lad. From the trailer of what I've seen, it's going to feature Superboy and Supergirl and a plethora of Legion favorites like Lightning Lad, Saturn Girl, Bouncing Boy, and I think I'm not sure. I think from what I can see in the trailer, Karate Kid has been gender bent. And and that would make sense because I always thought his civilian name was kind of girly sounding, Val Armor. I bet it'll be Valerie Armor now or something like that. But it's DC. So you know they got a gender swap or make somebody gay or something like that. So they already messed up my favorite Legionnaire. Because my favorite Legionnaire was Karate Kid. And if it's Karate Lass or whatever, that is going to make me very, very unhappy about this series because I used to rock with Legion of Superheroes. I collected Legion of Superheroes, the comic book. I collected Legionnaires, all of that. So yeah, it seems like there's a narrative to not do things how they're written in the comic book. Ooh, I wonder who started that. Anyway, distinct questions. Is Saturn still with the dude from the cartoon? If it whoa, is Saturn still with the dude from the cartoon? Have they ever had Titans with the Legion? That's how it looks in the trailer. Sure, that Karate Kid looks like someone who wears a costume that looks very much like Karate Kid's costume, has long hair and boobs. So last time I checked, yeah, that's a woman. But yeah, Karate Kid is not a woman. And arguably, Karate Kid is one of the most powerful non-powered legionnaires in the Legion of Superheroes. Y'all can fight me on if you want to. I got a video about Karate Kid. And matter of fact, I might post that later. Dude looks like a lady. Karate Kid looks like a lady? Not in his classic costume, or maybe we're looking at the rebirth Karate Kid. Oh, dude looks like a. Oh. Sorry. My my OG IQ just went down a couple points. How is Karate Kid non-powered if he can pull a Karnak? How is that not still a power? Technically, sure, it is a skill, not a power. He is not, he does not have superhuman strength. He does not have superhuman durability without any type of concentration or focus of any type. Basically, if I was a mile away with a Dargonite bullet and shot Superman or Superboy, it wouldn't do anything. Karate Kid can't say that. You know what I'm saying? He's not superpower. It's martial arts. Karate Kid has mastered, and I know it's ridiculous. He's mastered every martial art there is. Even Batman is like, I'm scared to fight that mug because he knows too many martial arts. You know a bunch of martial arts when you know more martial arts than Batman knows. And Batman's like, man, we got to take him out quick because once he starts fighting, he going to kick all our asses. So, yes, that's a huge compliment coming from Batman. And when you're referring to the Justice League, Karate Kid beating the shit out of the Justice League. Come on now. He is the most powerful non-powered character in DC, arguably. Let's see. I don't know the Legion of Superheroes, but I've got to find an image of Tyrock after all this conversation. Kimoyo Kid said whipping tail is a power. Then if that's the case, Shang-Chi is superpowered. If that's the case, Bronze Tiger is superpowered. And of course, Batman's got to be superpowered if whipping butt is a skill. Exactly, Jeffrey. If Batman talking about according to all my computers, we wasting our time, we better knock him out quickly before he starts squaring up on us. So, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have his memory. He couldn't even remember. He was brainwashed and was acting like a different villain until he remembered who he was. And like, oh, I'm Karate Kid. I'm about to give y'all a hard time. So, yeah. But isn't his skill similar to Karnak since he's not superhuman too, but hits powerful beings through weak points in the body? Yeah, but Karate Kid does way, way more. If you put Karnak and Karate Kid in a room and was like, okay, whoever come out first, I guarantee you need to put all your money on Karate Kid. Uh, he could do way more than find weak points. Plus, Karnak got one shotted by T'Challa. I ain't never seen nobody one shot Karate Kid ever. Even people with powers ain't one shot at Karate Kid. So there, but by virtue of that alone, Karate Kid top spot. But isn't nah. Not happening. I ain't heard who y'all said y'all favorite Legionnaire was. Didn't nobody say who their favorite Legionnaire was? Anybody? Nobody? Somebody? Who's your favorite Legionnaire? Is Bouncing Boy anybody's favorite Legionnaire? Oh, you have that issue, Theo. Yeah. It was when they changed the name to Justice League of America, back to Justice League of America for a little while. I think it was in the early 2000s. Karnak got one-shotted by T'Challa in, I want to say, Fantastic Four number 60 something. Because it was shortly after T'Challa had gotten introduced. And for I'd say maybe 4 or 5 issues, T'Challa was kind of popping back and forth in Fantastic Four comic books because they were the ones that said, you should be a superhero, dude. You're pretty good at this. And so he's like, all right, plus I need to watch all you superpower characters because I think y'all up to something. We didn't find that out later until the Christopher Priest run of Black Panther. But that's the reason T'Challa said, I'll become a superhero. So he wanted to assess what these superhuman beings, what the threat level was to Wakanda. And they had teamed up with the Fantastic Four and the Inhumans, and on the course of things, you know how superheroes have those misunderstandings, like, oh, who are you? You wearing dark clothes, I'm gonna beat you up. So there you go. Mon-El, the Daxamite. You know what? I would love to see Mon-El and Sodom Yacht have a fight. Sodom Yacht is also a Daxamite, but he's also a Green Lantern. That'd be a pretty good fight. By the way, Sodom Yacht is my favorite Daxamite. Karate Kid, yep, I'm with you, bro. Karate Kid, dude. Give me skills. Give me skills that can overtake powers. That's better than having powers. If I can beat you up with my skills, what do I need powers for? Ain't nobody coming to see Chuck Tane. Don't nobody like Bouncing Boy? Ain't no Bouncing Boy fans out there. What a shame. Bats used Black Lightning to cheat when he fought the kid. See, Kimoyo Kid has that issue too. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Batman had to cheat in a fight because he knew he was outskilled. I don't get the history between Kryptonians and Daxamites. Is there a difference? The major difference I can see, Ashura, between Daxamites and Kryptonians is their weakness. Kryptonians have a weakness to kryptonite, And Daxamites have a weakness to lead. Other than that, they are described as being of the same stock as Kryptonians. Yes, she used to be duo damsel back in the day, but then she got another personality or another duplicate, and so she became triplicate girl. Yes, Chuck Tane and triplicate girl are a thing. Yes, he's got a built-in foursome. Yay, Chuck Tane. Yes, and that too, Theo. Same system, different planets. So just like probably, I guess the thought process would be just like in the same way you see, different races in the Shi'ar galaxy that are of similar stock in Marvel. So it goes for Daxamites and Kryptonians. Because of the inherent weaknesses. And I feel like Kryptonians seem a wee bit more powerful than Daxamites, even though Sodom Yacht was able to go toe to toe with Superboy Prime. Eventually he got his butt whooped. So there you go. If Superboy is going toe to toe with Sodom Yacht, they got to be at the same stock. Because if they wasn't, Superboy Prime would have ripped his head off. Alrighty. Whoa. But I thought they left Krypton. Between when were they first introduced? I want to say 1960. Was the first time we saw Mon-El. Daxamites are in the same system as Krypton. They settled on another planet. But what is that? What I'm not understanding the question, Ashur. That you have to go. You thought they left Krypton, but they up what are you confused about? Help me help you. Skipitosh. What's good, bro? Right now, we talking Legion of Superheroes. There's a Legion of Superheroes animated movie coming out in January, and I am excited for it. Who's your favorite Legionnaire and why? Mine's is Karate Kid. Theo's is Karate Kid. Kamoyo Kids is Karate Kid. I guess we all like Karate Kid. So there you go. I think I saw somebody in there. Jeffrey Lane likes Mon-El. The fact that they have different weaknesses but same powers under a yellow sun. Writers. Writers do stupid stuff like that, sure. You might want to take that up with whoever created Mon-El. Skipitosh, you ain't said nothing. Skipitosh, you ain't said nothing. Holla at me, dog. Holla at me. Holla. The fact that that is a good point, though, sure. That is a very good point. Just like the people in the Bottle City in Kandor. But Kandor is a city from Krypton, so there you go. Bam. Okie dokie. Well, while Skipitosh is mulling over which Legionnaire is his favorite, I am going to slide on into another topic. Now, I know for Who has a Superman question, Jeffrey? Ashura. Aren't Daxamites and Kryptonians the same stock? Why can't they be the same regardless? And he thought they left Krypton. There you go, Jeffrey. Educate. Edutain. By the way, Beast Boy from the future is descendant from Martians. Final episode of Young Justice Phantoms. Ashura, here's what I'm telling you. And this is what I'm going to need you to do for me. Okay? All DC television shows, movies, animated features are not linear. Okay, some of them draw from a certain canon, but they're you can't say that Young Justice is Earth Prime. It's an animated version of Earth Prime. Just like Adam West Batman is not of the same continuity as Earth Prime. The Arrowverse is not the same continuity as Earth Prime. So the Bible is the comics, and the comics are Earth Prime. At least some of them are, since DC has tons and tons of universes like everybody else. They did get rid of them, but then they got them back again. So what can you do? Stargirl has nothing to do with Black Lightning. Is he from the future? No. Not well, maybe in Young Justice. Shoot, look at how Beast Boy got his powers on Young Justice. That's not the same origin. That's not Beast Boy's origin story. And they make no reference of Beast Boy being a member of the Suicide Squad. Or was it the Doom Patrol? Doom Patrol. Beast Boy was a member of the Doom Patrol in the comics. But we don't get any of that in Young Justice. Or at least they act like we don't get any of that. You know, just like Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go are two entirely different universes. All DC stuff is not one big contiguous thing like the MCU is. Because of the writing, they both have different weaknesses. Okay, they basically just made up a new race of super people like Kryptonians. Like I said, writers. They another race that is black and just like Kryptonians, just from a separate planet, I believe, next to Kandor. Kandor is a city, not a planet, right? Or was Kandor a planet too? I'm missing a lot of information, but that's the gist of it, basically. Okay. All right. So I guess we're done with Legion Superheroes. Don't nobody else got no questions. Don't nobody but Jeffrey and Ashura want to talk about Legion Superheroes. Okay. I'll go on to the next one. All right. This will probably be surprisingly brief because could be wrong on name and be. Now you got me wanting to watch that last season of Young Justice again. What was I getting ready to say? Oh, Nico Bean, who is not in the live right now, but when he watches this, he will be tickled pink that he got a shout out, is who I'm gonna give the credit to for this next segment. the other day, he was talking about someone who was saying on their page, their Twitter page, that they would be interested in playing Storm. And when I seen her, it clicked automatically. I don't know how many of y'all watched American Gods. Okay. Now, on American Gods, basically the gist of the story of American Gods is this. Okay. The old gods, whatever gods you want to talk about, like Babylonian, Greek, Asgardian, Egyptian, African, all of it. All the old gods are like, they like know each other. And they're like, okay, you do your thing over here. I'm going to do my thing over here. If you don't F with me, I won't F with you. But then you have these new upstart gods like television and lust and speed and all of this kind of a thing. And they're trying to foist the new guys out and precipitate war. But anyway, there's this one actress who plays, I guess she's like the best way I could describe her is a goddess of sex. and the goddess's name is Bilquis, and she's played by an actress by the name of Yetide Badaki, whom I think would make an excellent Storm. Whenever they decide to do an X-Men, they need to put her, I mean, because she's not dark, but she's dark brown, and she got like really nice skin, and pretty fair looking, and and she's not scrawny either. So it's like she'd make a good Storm. And somebody photoshopped a white wig onto her head, and it's like, yeah, she could be Storm. Just wipe those irises, and she's in there, and she can already act. So it's like, yo, that's your Storm right there. I'm upset that I don't have a picture of her to show y'all, but old girl would make an amazing Storm. Y'all can stop searching. She is the one. And I believe she's of Nigerian descent. So yeah, we need to rock with Yetide Badaki for Storm. For Storm. What was it to say? Yeah, okay. Yeah, the sister from American Gods has been mentioned before as an awesome idea for Storm. Jeffrey Lane. When she ate that guy in that bed scene was crazy. Yeah. She done did that to a few guys. And they off in some crazy universe once they get sucked up in there. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at her like, yeah, I'd hit that. But if you knew you was going to get sucked off into another universe, would you be good with it? It's kind of like knowing somebody got a disease. Would you still hit? I mean, she fine, but it's going to be trouble. Now I want to watch American Gods. How many seasons? 3. I'm pretty sure. And also Orlando Jones' turn as Anansi. Amazing. He tells some hellified stories, and those stories have ramifications on stuff that's going on today. He told this story about, just look it up. Go after y'all get done here, go look up Orlando Jones as Anansi and the speech he gives. Oh my goodness. It'll have you mad and proud at the same time. Yes, Jeffrey, it was 3 seasons. And Jeffrey agrees. Oh, Orlando Jones is amazing. Oh, and then what's his name? Oh my goodness, the name escapes me. The guy who played Sabretooth in Wolverine Origins. He has a brother, I believe it is, that plays a leprechaun. And I'm like, that's the biggest, buffest leprechaun I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy though. It American Gods is a good show, and she does a good turn on that show. And yeah, I think anytime we have a conversation about Storm on Twitter, on here, y'all need to point people in the direction of Yetide Badaki, because old girl is like textbook. She even got the accent, when she talks, she's got that, bruh. She's the complete package, man. Y'all need to look no more. That's your Storm. Season 1, season 2, season 3. She's in all 3 seasons of sure. She's a major player in the show, because everybody needs sex. How you gonna kill off the sex goddess? Liev Schreiber. Yes, Liev Schreiber's brother. I forget his first name, but yes, he's also on Halo. He's a master sergeant on Halo. That guy. He plays a big leprechaun. But yeah, it's a good show. A lot of my peoples was thrown off by it because there are a lot of gratuitous male on male sex scenes. And a lot of the people that I hang out or rock with, they like, okay, I can only look at one, and they don't even want to look. They're like, I can't look at that. Let me know when it's over. If a show is good, if a show is entertaining, I'm not going to let something like man sex throw me off from watching it. I just won't watch the man sex. You know what I mean? I'll just, okay, man sex. Okay, we ain't looking at the man sex. Okay, man sex. No, man sex. Okay, man sex over. Okay, and continue watching the show. I mean, that is just, I feel like, not to talk about none of my boys, but that's a narrow-minded, borderline homophobic view. I mean, they're not having sex with you. And I know a lot of people that are like mad that gay stuff and lesbian stuff is popping up more, and they're normalizing it. And it's like, okay, there was a time when black people being on the screen wasn't normalized, or it was mocked, or so it was something crazy was done to it. So I get that. I mean, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a long while. And it's going to probably have to be a lot of live and let live before people finally are comfortable. Is what it is, though. It doesn't take away from the fact that American Gods is a good show. Okay. Yes, Grand Madam, she is beautiful. Let me see. Should the next Superman costume be with the trunks or continue what Zach did? I have never been a huge fan of underwear on the outside of your costume. So yeah, I've never liked that look for anybody. You know what I'm saying? So nah, don't put the drawers back on the outside. I have to ask because I don't know how long you are on from. As far as DC, bruh. Kurt Swan era. How long I've been rocking with DC and Superman specifically? Don't know how long I am on for. Okay. About 15 more minutes. By the way, is there American Gods comics? Is there X-rated American comics like The Boys, Hero Gasm, and Jeff at Jeffrey Lane? American Gods is based on I think a book written by Neil Gaiman. So technically, yeah, but it's a book, not a comic or a graphic novel. So you would actually have to sit down and read it. So Yeah, there you go. Do you reboot or keep going? DC Universe, way too convoluted right now to keep going. They need a 0 hour and they need to start from the beginning because I think they got some good ideas and concepts, and we know they can make viable movies a la Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and you can argue if you want to, but Black Adam was a decent movie. Yeah, reboot all of that and have all of them, the viable ones, just continue into the next universe and make the Justice League the right way. I wonder why superhero trunks went away from the comics. The underwear is a pro wrestling thing. You are right, Ashura. You are actually correct. Originally, Superman's uniform in the 1930s was designed with circus muscle men in mind. So, yes, you are 100% correct, sir. Said, I did like the Swamp Thing show. The Swamp Thing show they had on for one season and took off. Yes, that was a very good show. They don't know what the hell they were doing taking that show off. Yeah, no argument for me. Yeah, Swamp Thing was fire. Do you think people can bear a Superman origin again? I don't think you have to retell Superman's origin because I don't think there is a human being alive on the planet who doesn't know Superman's origin. I would be perfectly fine at some point just introducing Superman like how Spider-Man got introduced in the MCU. Did y'all need somebody to tell y'all Spider-Man's origin, or were you like, Spider-Man, yeah? Same thing with Superman. Superman just pop up hovering in the sky with his arms folded, looking all tough and stuff like that, and say one of them Superman lines. Bruh, who needs Superman's or we could just simply introduce Superman, and if we need to, excuse me, tell his story retroactively. If you really gotta have a Krypton story and a growing up in Kansas story, then yeah, do that. But don't, I don't think, and again, no offense to Marvel, because I grew up Marvel, but DC has some of the most recognizable superheroes around. You don't have to know nothing about comic books to know Superman origin story, Batman's origin story, Wonder Woman's origin story. And if you're really good, you could probably get Green Lantern, Flash, and Aquaman in there too. And for them people who folks don't know their origin story, then maybe we should tell their origin stories. Other than that, nah, you wasting precious time telling origin stories. The vast majority of characters in the DC universe's origin stories are known because a lot of people grew up on Super Friends, because a lot of people grew up on Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. So, we know these superheroes. We grew up with them for like most of us, like what, 50, 60 years? We're familiar with these characters. We're intimately familiar with them. Mr. Nancy was the special ingredient on American God, Zoltar. Yes, he was. The no tights thing is the no tights thing is way better and makes sense for a high technology planet. Yep. Walter Wilder, what's going on, man? We just in here chopping it up, talking about DC Comics and Legion of Superheroes and things like that there. So feel free to, maybe for like about 10 more minutes, because I got one more thing I want to discuss, and then we're going to bounce. Zoltar flashback origins are better sometimes. Yeah, like I said, especially with characters who the casuals and the general public are intimately familiar with. I can ask my mama Superman's origin story, and my mama can tell me Superman's origin story. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, flashback, and anything else you need. Yeah, DC icons, period. DC characters are iconic. They've been portrayed in in several different mediums. You have seen DC characters in cartoons, movies, television shows, comic books, toys, clothing, all that. Our society is super saturated with DC characters. Underoos. The first underoos I saw was Superman underoos. If you don't know what underoos are, look them up. I ain't going through it. Ray Smith. There you go, Ashura. OG Ray Smith has researched it for you. T'Challa one-shot at Karnak in Fantastic Four Annual number 5, 1967, and again in Black Panther Reginald Hudlin Run issue 20. There. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was when he was on his Goodwill tour, and he went and visited the Inhumans, Doctor Doom, and Namor. Yep, sure did. One shot at him then too. So yeah, Karnak has been one-shotted twice. Characters like Blue Beetle need an origin story. Yeah, because the general public is not familiar with Blue Beetle. Either one. I hope the Flashpoint doesn't get canceled too. Cross your fingers, Ashura. I agree on Blue Beetle. Yep. Isn't Superman's origin Moses? Technically. The suffix El Shaddai. Yeah. There is no doubt in anyone's mind that I would say, and if anything, I would say Superman's origin has vestiges of Jesus Christ in it too. So the L suffix is the only reason I say that. Dope take. Chuck Norris has a video game coming out. Good for Chuck Norris. Yeah, Moses and Jesus. That part right there. Okay, last thing. Marvel related. Yay, where my Marvel fans at? Where my Marvel fans at? Where my Marvel fans at? Throw up them M's. M's take too long to throw up. Upside down W. Yeah, throw up them M's. Okay. That's easier. I did a video on it, and it should be coming out soon, probably tonight. Who has benefited more from appearing in the MCU? Tony Stark or T'Challa? And I was having this discussion in the comments with somebody, and it has already been established that prior to the year 2008, Iron Man was a more popular character than T'Challa, but T'Challa was experiencing some notoriety because in 2008, we was in the middle of the Reginald Hudlin run, and the Reginald Hudlin run was fire. So Jeffrey Lane say Tony Stark, which is for the most part essentially correct, but thank you, Zoltar. Appreciate it, bro. Tony Stark was not a household name prior to 2008. And this is what I was trying to like point out in, well, I wasn't trying, I did. But prior to 2008, you wasn't hearing nothing about Iron Man. I mean, he was in media. He had cartoons. The comic book was, rolling along, sort of. But if you asked, Kind of like what we were talking about here in the chat with Blue Beetle. We need to tell Blue Beetle's origin story. We couldn't have just made an Iron Man movie and did his origin story retroactively. You could have, but a lot of people would have been like, how come this and why that? And who's this guy? And what's this? You know what I mean? And he has benefited more from appearing in the MCU than T'Challa has. Way more exposure, way more screen time. But for all intents and purposes, as far as popularity prior to the 2008, I don't think Tony Stark was too much more popular than T'Challa. Why didn't T'Challa get that kind of shine in the MCU if they were both kind of like B-list characters? Why couldn't we run T'Challa on up the ladder to A-list by giving him exposure, by giving him more exposure? Why we didn't make a Black Panther cartoon? And that Ultimate Avengers don't count because that was a meh appearance for T'Challa, and he turned into a Were-Panther, so that shit really don't count. You know what I'm saying? When we gonna get them Black Panther animated features out there? I'm talking about What If, where you taking off your mask and getting exposed to sonic waves and getting killed. I want to see a smart T'Challa. I want to see a prepared for most situations T'Challa. Not this dummy who we painting smarter, his sister smarter than. Byron Smith, what's up? Jeffrey Lane said nobody cared about Iron Man before the Iron Man movie. Hence my point, sir. Ray Smith said, I'm going to say Tony Stark because he wasn't all that at the time. That's my point, Mr. Smith. He was not all that at the time. And his exposure, even prior to the Iron Man movie in 2008, he had an Iron Man animated movie in 2007 that didn't do nothing for him. I like that Doctor Strange animated movie that came out around the same time, better than the Iron Man one, you know? And so it's like Robert Downey Jr. being Iron Man really did a whole lot for Iron Man, for Tony Stark. It did a lot for him. It made his star just like the same thing would have happened for Chadwick Boseman had he not passed. I mean, we hear about all of the tomfoolery that's going on and the plans that the higher ups had and the machinations they were moved, the way they were moving was really janky. But I mean, it's undeniable Chadwick Boseman's turn as T'Challa put T'Challa through the roof, made T'Challa a household name. I mean, those of us that have been knowing T'Challa since the 70s, we was like, yeah, it's about time. But yeah, it did a lot for him and it could have did so much more. Let's see. T'Challa did steal the show when he hit the MCU. And that's what I ask a lot of people think about. Think about the first time you saw Iron Man and when, you know, when he was like pissed off and saw that foreign country and put on his stuff and and clink and the faceplate slammed down. It was like, okay, that's kind of cold. But when Bucky was running and out of nowhere with no sound whatsoever, just swooped down on him, tossed him to the ground, and then just broke that pose. Man, I don't know about where y'all was at in the theater, but when I was in the theater, that was a moment. T'Challa should have been leading the new MCU. You get no argument from me. I even said so in a video. We hear in the comics, you hear about the Wakanda Design Group just as much as you hear about Stark Industries or Stark International. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, put some respect on T'Challa's name. Black Panther should be leading. Yeah, he should be leading the Avengers right now. Tony Stark is fun, but more superficial. T'Challa means more and is more interesting. I will agree, sir. Yes, he is more interesting, Zoltar. At Jeffrey Lane, that was the plan. T'Challa was going to lead the entire phase. Fate stepped in. The priest T'Challa. Yeah, piece of useless. Well, it might not be useless trivia, but not only is T'Challa the regent and king of Wakanda, he is also the leader of the Black Panther cult. And his uniform is actually a habit. Like what nuns wear, like what priests wear. It's a habit. And it is also referred to as a habit in the comics. So the more you know. All right. The priest, that means more. Yeah, I know what you meant. Cold Tiger, hey, you show up at the last minute. I'm not going to lie. When Nick Fury mentioned Wakanda on the map, I was geeked to see that they'd have T'Challa in the next MCU film. Yes, recast T'Challa all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So, what was the purpose of me expressing the Tony Stark T'Challa comparison? Number one, I just wanted to pump up my video. Go and watch it and see how y'all feel about it if you haven't watched it already. Number two, I simply wanted to illustrate the point that popularity is a controlled thing. The people that they want to be popular, they will make popular. Thor classically did not make great movies. 1 out of 4 movies was good, in my opinion. That just yes, I would go see that again. 1 out of 4. But Chris Hemsworth was all we heard about. Chris Evans was all we heard about because they were playing iconic characters. I get that. Okay. But we kept making Captain America movies. We kept making Thor movies. We kept making Iron Man movies. The time it took them to keep cranking out those movies, you could have made 2 Black Panther movies. I'm just saying. We make popular who and what we want to make popular, especially in movies, because it's all about, marketing and propaganda and programming. And I mean, and I'll be the one to say it, and I ain't afraid to. Because of my upbringing, because I am a super duper Marvel fan, it was real easy to get me to drink that MCU Kool-Aid for a while. But it dawned on me, Marvel Studios is owned by Disney, and Disney is not known for showing Black people love. I mean, well, this is probably bizarre and weird, but think about it. Disney didn't start showing any type of diversity in their animated features until the 90s. Mowgli don't count. If you want to count that, sure. Then Mowgli, Song of the South. What else you got with some Black people in it? You see what I'm saying? Maybe they trying to rectify that right now, but they doing a very poor job of it, in my opinion. So until you show me that you playing with the fans in mind, I'm gonna be backing away from their cinematic shit. Period. You know what I mean? I can't, y'all. I mean, other than for purposes of bringing y'all the information, that's all it is to me now is research. It's not anything pleasurable or enjoyable because I understand what it is now. It's a narrative that's being put on to push stuff. And all right, I'm gonna stop because I sound like a conspiracy theorist. Let's return to the in charge genius of Christopher Priest's run. God, I wish, Zoltar. God, I wish. Quick question, y'all. Should Dora Milaje have hair? The Ultimates, Cold Tiger. I didn't like the fact that Ultimate Black Panther was a mutant, because I felt like that took away from the allure and the mysticism that made Black Panther so great. Sue me. Killing T'Challa was the last straw for me. Most of us are sure. Zoltar the Magnificent. No more MCU Kool-Aid. I'll still check a few maybe, but no more loyalty. Such is your choice, Big Z. I was talking about that today with someone who didn't want to listen. Don't it be a bunch of them, Mr. Smith, that just don't want to listen? Because drinking that Kool-Aid, player. It might make sense to them later. Maybe. Appreciate you feeling it. There's a hidden video of Fantasia where a black female centaur was cleaning the hoofs and braiding the hairs of white ones, but wasn't invited to the party. If that don't tell the story, Ashura, I don't know what does. Digging what I'm shoveling? The Doras had hair. Yes, Kamoyo Kid. The operative word in that sentence is had. And I mean, when I say hair, I mean hair. Okoye and Nakia, when Christopher Priest introduced them, they both had hair. And they wasn't grown. They were not grown adult women. That's something people don't understand about the Dora Milaje. They are not grown women. Barely, if they are. They're wives in training. If they're wives in training, you can't train no grown woman to be a wife. Well, I might get flack for that one. But she either has to want to be a wife or already be. You can't train anyone to be a wife. That's just me. But, you know, this is Wakanda. This is Africa. Their traditions and customs are not our traditions and customs. Hopefully that's my saving grace. Remember the crows from Dumbo? One of them was named Jim. Ashura, I guess I will say this. Respectful representation. The Song of the South is not respectful representation. Fantasia is not respectful representation. And Dumbo damn sure wasn't respectful representation. They didn't know how to do it. They did what was popular in the day. And in the day and time when Disney was doing those features, discrimination and racism against blacks in this country was rampant. So, of course, the movies of the day are going to reflect that. Social issues are social issues. And whether we reflect them in a respectful way or reflect them in a disrespectful way, we are going to reflect the issues of the day, because art always has and always will imitate life. He was reluctant to cut ties with Germany. Got it. Zoltar. Oh, in Priest Run, they had hair. Yes, they did. I think Hutland changed it. Yes, he did. I don't like the fact that female Skrulls have no hair. It irks me, but I don't think males have any in the comics. Female Skrulls do have hair. Maybe not recently, but I know when I saw in the Fantastic Four run in the 80s, Queen Anelle had hair. And then yes, Queen of Nail had hair. In her unshaped shifted form, she had hair. If that changed, that was a writer or an artist choice. But yeah, female scrolls had hair. And then on top of that, I think scrolls are supposed to be reptilian in nature. So I guess hair was put on them just to so that you could tell the difference. I don't know. But bald women do look better to me now. Seriously, it's working. Oh, I meant MCU female scrolls. Gotcha. Why are the MCU females kind of androgynous? Name me some androgynous MCU females, Kamoya Kid. The bald lady representation is on hit. To be honest with you, hair ain't something I pay a whole lot of attention to anymore, if I'm being honest. My first wife didn't have a whole lot of hair. I won't say she's bald, but she didn't have long hair. Okay, I'm not attracted to hair. Hair is probably icing on the cake, but I ain't never got with a girl because I liked her hair. I don't know. Hair is just not a sexy thing. It's not a alluring thing. I mean, it can accentuate certain things, your face, your overall look, but just okay, if you had one feature your woman could have that was just great, what would it be? No man on earth ever says, I want her hair to be longer. The Dora's wasp widow once she became an Avenger proper. Captain Marvel? I don't know. Look here, y'all. It is an hour and a half, and we have been on here. And according to Zoltar the Magnificent, this was a good show. If this was a good show to you, go ahead and tell somebody about this. Share this with somebody that you feel needs to hear it. Salute to the griot. Salute to the magnificent. I appreciate each and every one of y'all coming to rock with me because I will call you out by name. Oh, let's go, Groovy Faye. Goodness. Oh, I wonder if he's still here. Peace to Groovy Faye. Shout out to Ray Smith. Shout out to the Kamoyo Kid. Shout out to Ashura. Shout out to my man Theo B. Shout out to Grand Madam. Shout out to D. Steezel. Shout out to Alicia Smith. Shout out to Jeffrey Lane, who obviously does not like manly looking women. Hell, who does? And Zoltar the Magnificent. Did I say Zoltar the Magnificent? Did I say Kamoyo Kid? Yeah, I did. Okay. Skipper Tosh stuck his head in the building for a hot second. And I saw Walter Wilder stick his head in the building for a hot second. I appreciate everybody who rocks with me on these lives. Keep these lives going, y'all. I love it, love it, love it. I will be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other. Peace, peace.